the family took a chance, invested in power. But it wasn't easy. In fact, first couple of years, it was losing money. We had to set up stores to sell gadgets and stuff like that, no? Because people didn't know how to use electricity. I mean, people would still prefer the candle at that time. Here in the main grid, you build a huge power plant, 250 megawatt coal plant, huge, massive. People don't feel it. You just continue to build up inventory, you know. But over there, it's the only plant. Prior to that, it's the candle. Stories like people would come up to us and say things like, you know, we're so happy now my kids can study at night. They decided to invite me to work and set up Vivant. That's how it happened. And my dad
grudgingly
had no choice, I guess.
Halos 2 siglo na sa pagnenegosyo ang pamilya Escanio Garcia mula sa pagbebenta ng abaka sa Southern Leyte noon pang 1800s. Si Arlo Sarmiento, CEO ng Vivant Corporation, ay kabilang sa ika-5 henerasyon ng pamilya na nagsimula sa trading, shipping at power generation. Through the ups and downs of business, Vivant Corporation in the last 20 years has made a difference in communities that would have had no access to consistent power supply. It is also one of the first companies to partner with the local water district and LGU to build a sewage treatment plant like this one in Puerto Princesa. It is also poised to operate the first utility-scale seawater desalination plant in the country. True to its mission of providing solutions to improve the daily lives of its customers. Kilalanin natin si Arlo Garcia Sarmiento, CEO ng Vivant Corporation, dito lamang sa Usapang Bilyonaryo. Amazing, this is the future.
Future of water in the Philippines.
Yeah, wow.
We met and I told him about this dream of ours to do desalination in the Philippines. And Ziv said, come, I'll take you to Israel. Let me show you some small desalination plants. Because the original plant here was a large 100 MLD, which the utility couldn't take, the water district. So Ziv says, we can make small ones.
It's been said that energy is your first love. Why? What is so fascinating about energy?
We've been in the industry since 1920, right? It's the company's lifeblood. It's our family's lifeblood. It's really what we know. We also see how it changes communities. I don't know which story to tell, but maybe let's start with Beko.
Okay.
In 1918, the family, at that time, the Escanio family acquired a majority stake in the Visayan Electric Company. Prior to that, it had been set up by 3 Americans. No? So new technology, parang cell phone when it came in, in the late 80s, early 90s, right? The family took a chance, invested in power. But it wasn't easy. In fact, first couple of years, it was losing money. We had to set up stores to sell gadgets and stuff like that, no? Because people didn't know how to use electricity. To see the transition, right, from candles to light, you know, bulbs and lights, and then eventually see how that new technology helped propel Cebu to where it is today. Yeah, that you can say that's why it's our first love, right?
In the beginning, you worked in the furniture business on the paternal side of the family.
Right.
And then shifted to energy, where I guess, which you fell in love with. Why did you not continue on with the furniture business?
Great question. I never thought I'd be working for my mom's side of the family. The Sarmiento clan is a proud one. Apart from furniture, they're in feeds and poultry and all these other things. And come 2001, EPIRA, the law is passed. My grandfather at the time was chairman of the board and felt he needed help. He and his nephew, Tony Garcia, who was his eldest nephew, felt they needed help. I was, 26 at the time. And they saw that although I was busy with my father, they saw that maybe my father could lend me to them for a bit and help them just understand this new law. Because of the opportunities of the law, it basically opened up competition in this very monopolistic industry, right? They decided to invite me to work and set up Vivant. That's how it happened, and my dad had no choice, I guess. His father-in-law asking, the first cousin of my mom asking, can my son work with us? No? So, my dad happily.
Not grudgingly.
No, he has 4 other sons, right?
What made you?
Let's start with the first investment, VECO, Visayan Electric Company. At the time, we acquired the business in 1918. By 2001, 2002, the negative effects of a monopoly had crept in. So the law was passed in 2001, opened up the industry. By 2004, a lot of the more established players, the Lopezes, the Aboitises, these are the guys who had first movers advantage. So we invited the Aboitises to help us operate Visayan Electric Company better. After VECO had settled down, we had ironed out the kinks and all that, we said, okay, now let's see where else we can go in the industry. At the time, there was a shortage of power in the country. So we said, let's get into power generation. And that was in 2007.
It's rather brave that you're going into off-grid areas. You're proving that there's money to be made there. But did you see that in the beginning? These underserved communities. Was that a business decision, or because you saw opportunity, or was it because of a mission?
All that. But initially, it was also less crowded. As I said, the more established players in the industry had made their moves in the major markets, Cebu, Manila, Mindanao. And being new in power generation, we said, where can we go where the investment size isn't
so huge,
too big? At the same time, the impact to the community is what we've seen with VECO multiplied.
But now you fully own this Delta P plant in...
Yes, we recently acquired 100% of the company just earlier this last May.
So it was the experience in Puerto Princesa that led you to do other areas?
Yes. We saw, for one, it wasn't as crowded. We also saw that in the right market, these small grids were actually relatively profitable, but more than anything, less competitive, right? And the way it changes lives in the community. That's really what a lot of us in the business, in the company, like to talk about.
It's more rewarding, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean,
because the difference made in the lives of the people is huge.
Absolutely. Here in the main grid, you build a huge power plant, 250 megawatt coal plant, huge, massive. People don't feel it. You just continue to, build up inventory, But over there, it's the only plant. Prior to that, it's the candle. Stories like people would come up to us and say things like, we're so happy now my kids can study at night.
So this led you talaga to go to other...
To seek out these markets. There aren't too many in the Philippines, but hopefully with the as the DOT pushes tourism to open up more of these Boracais, these Corons, these Puerto Princesas, these Bantayans, there will be more opportunities eventually, no? But there is a how would you say, there is a secret sauce, if you like. The market has to have certain aspects for it to work.
Like
high tourism potential. Number one, that has to be there. And number two, a secondary industry that can support or that can use the infrastructure.
The impact on the economy, aside from tourism, must be also huge.
On the local economy?
Yes.
Of the island?
Right.
Absolutely. Coron, for example. Real estate prices have shot up since we put that power plant on that grid. No, that plant is interesting. They asked us to build a power plant that would serve their needs for 15 years. We're now on year, I think it's 7 or 8, and the plant is running on 110%. It's fully consumed.
So you
all
need
its capacity. We have to expand that asset, right? But it did it in half the time. Can you imagine how that has propelled the economy? Hotels, restaurants, auxiliary businesses to support all of that.
Not to mention also education.
Schools, everything. It just real estate has shot up in Coron. So our latest projects in Bantayan Island, we wanted to come closer to home. No? We did the same thing in Cebu, Bantayan Island. We were able to build a power plant in the middle of the pandemic. We completed it during the pandemic, and we hope to see the same success, the same story there.
It turns out that the psychic rewards were bigger than I suppose the returns.
I agree, yeah, for sure. I mean, the returns have to be there for sure. My shareholders will kill me if if I don't give them those returns. But apart from that, it's that what you said. What did you say? Psychic returns.
Rewards.
Right. It's very fulfilling. Very fulfilling.
Simula po nung nag-start po tayo magkaroon ng senior high, as well as ito po, nagkaroon tayo ng Vivant, we were able to compete po, umaabot po tayo ng hanggang national level po. Last year po, nanalo po tayo ng Shell Explorers Competition po. Nag-grand champion po yung mga bata natin with the help of this equipment po.
So yun po yung na-learn namin, something na kapag nababasa mo lang sa books, hindi mo po magigets kung paano ba ito mag-work, like yung procedures are there, you can read all of them, maintindihan mo po siya through reading, but yung actually experiencing it in front of you is very different po, na hindi mo po yun makukuha basta-basta.
But they say, diba, that is it the third generation that squanders what the forebears built? So how do you, what advice would you, because there are many family businesses in the country.
So these are all the companies and subsidiaries, right? Mostly power plants from all over the country. No? The inspiration of the design here is supposed to be Cebuano, native Cebuano look and feel inspirations. No? So we use Baka here, which also has a historical significance.
Oh yes, to you.
Right,
to the
right,
family,
right,
to the
right.
beginnings of your business.
Right.
Baka yan. Ang
Yes,
ganda.
it's Baka. Yeah. So this was our great grandmother.
Teresa is the one who stayed.
Yes. She loved her fashion.
Wow, beautiful.
Right? And look at her house. This is Ranudo.
This is
the house. This is the house.
The one on that street
Yes,
where we're
yes,
going.
yes. We hope to pass.
Wow.
Right. So she married a military man, Hill.
Actually, if not for her, baka walang
Yeah.
Escanio.
Yeah.
You are a publicly listed company, but heavy with family in the board.
Right.
How many family members?
What are we now? So it's an 11-man board. We have 4 independent directors. What's that? 7 family members right now.
How do you ensure, I suppose, that the business is run professionally? It can be tricky with family.
Our independent directors are incredible. The wisdom that we get from them it really helps us. We have a total employee headcount now of about, we're closing in on 170, 180.
You started with 5, I understand.
Yeah.
A ragtag team
Ragtag
of 5.
word keeps on coming
Is
up.
ragtag the right way of
I don't know how that came about, but yeah, we used to call ourselves the ragtag team because there were 5 people doing everything, right? So this is something we're very proud of. Early this year, we were given the Great Place to Work badge. No? This is something that the employees vote for. And if you hit a certain percentage, I think it's 84%, you can get this badge, right? So we're happy.
An international certification.
Yes, it is. Say good afternoon to Ces. So, yeah. We often converge here. We have a beer tap here. I cover it. But 5 o'clock that opens, and all employees free beer for everyone. Yeah.
Every day?
Every day.
Even coffee is free?
Yeah, it's free.
Is it the third generation that squanders what the forebears built?
Yeah.
So how do you, what advice would you, because there are many family businesses in the country and many are just starting.
Many things. Have a family constitution.
You do have
We
one?
do have one. We do have one.
Oh, how long ago?
We've had our family constitution, oh wow, what's it? Maybe since 2007, around there.
Okay.
But more than just the family constitution, it has to be activated. It can't just be a piece of paper.
It's a dynamic thing.
Yeah, you can't
keep
just, you have to keep, and you have to refer
it.
to it and lean on it, rely on it, update it. It has to be a live document. No? The second thing is the family council. It really helps to set up a family council because it takes out pressure from the board of directors. It allows families to address family issues separately so that the business can continue. My last point would be professionalize as much as you can. Just professionalize. Don't limit yourself to talent
within the family.
Within the family. There's so much more talent out there. It's well known. Cebu is in a water crisis. I mean, peak demand is something at like 600 million liters a day. And I think current stable supply is at about 250.
Wow.
It's
Not even half.
Yeah, it's a
Naliligo ba ang mga Cebuano? You earned the distinction of landing among the 3 Filipino companies best under $1 billion by Forbes.
Yes. I'm very proud of that.
How did you do it?
The whole, best in Asia. That's a huge market. I mean, and for Vivant to be picked. Honestly, it caught me by surprise. I didn't expect it, but it did make us all kind of step back and think, hey, maybe we've done something. We've done something good after all these years. Maybe we've achieved that goal. Or not achieve. At least we're heading towards the right direction. And
Give yourself a pat on the back.
Give yourself and the team a pat on the back. And hey, look, after all this, we've done something good, pala.
Yeah.
So that's what it was for us. It allowed us that pause, that moment to realize that we're doing something good.
And then a rude awakening, series of events beyond your control. Pandemic.
Or death. The most serious blow that we took during that period was the death of our chairman, Dennis Garcia. He was chairman and CEO. No? So very early on, March, the pandemic was very real for us. We lost our captain, the captain of our ship. And then we had to regroup virtually. No one could see each other. It was terrible. We realized we were leaderless. Now, our then president, Montito Garcia, stepped up valiantly, I would say, to fill in the void, but he was not prepared. There was no transition. Keeping the team together, I think logistically, if there's one thing that was most difficult logistically, it's keeping the team cohesive and still getting the job done.
What qualities do you think you have that, made you surmount all these challenges?
I really believe in teams. I'm a team guy. I love sports.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not an individualist. I believe that teams work. Being that, during the pandemic, it was really important for me to keep that team cohesive and functioning. It was priority number 1 for me. We go back to Vivant's mission. No? So we thought about our mission, bringing excellence to industries that improve everyday living. And we thought about who we are, Vivant. Who is Vivant? We're a Cebu-based company that wants to fulfill that mission. So we said, let's look at Cebu.
What are its needs?
Yeah, what are its needs? It's well known. Cebu is in a water crisis. Peak demand is something at like 600 million liters a day. And I think current stable supply is at about 250.
Wow.
It's
Not even half.
Yeah,
Naliligo ba ang mga Cebuano?
No, but the thing is, we find ways. Typical Cebuano, we find ways to get by, no. So we thought about desalination.
What's the target? When's your first plant going on stream?
It's scheduled to be completed in December, and then commercial operations by February. From that market, from that hospital, what comes out after the process is this Class C water fit for recreational use. Cheers! Cheers!
Ang iniwang dumi ng mga nakatira dito talagang maitim yung lupa, no. At saka considering na ito ang bay, nahihirapan po ilabas ng bay yung dumi na galing sa mga household. So nilagyan natin ng sewerage treatment plant. So talagang nalinis, no. In fact, last year dito ginanap yung ating Ironman. So pumasa naman siya sa swimming yung quality ng ating water, no.
We're about 30% distribution in Visayas Electric Company, which we have the Aboitises which we're partners with the Aboitises, and they operate. About a third in oil. These are your SPUG projects and other diesel plants around the country. About a third coal. That's our current mix.
Of course, you want to change this, right?
We're changing that. So by 2030, we hope to be at least a third RE by then, no? We've just recently acquired our first solar farm in Bulacan, and we're actually one of the leaders in solar rooftop already in the country. We're making our first wind investment. It will be in Samar, and it's a partnership with a foreign company called Vena, and it is positioning to be, if not the largest wind farm in the country.
How do you see the prospects of the country?
I think the current administration's on the right path. We really have to increase our spendings on infrastructure. I think we heard the president focus on that. Infrastructure, roads, bridges, power, water. We need to improve these infrastructure subsets to be competitive.
And you're looking at, more innovative ways and to invest money. It's a big, we're talking about big cap investments here.
We are not afraid of new technology.
Para sa Vivant Corporation, hindi lamang sa tubo nasusukat ang pagwagi sa negosyo, kundi sa pagiging isang responsible corporate citizen. They believe that doing right things right means doing business that looks for solutions that are beneficial to all. Ako po si Ces Orenia Drilon, hanggang sa susunod nating pagkikita sa Usapang Bilyonaryo.